Lafia,
Latvia.
welcome to this Journey Called Life podcast with Ọṣun and
In time.
where we bring y'all the real about our experiences in life and, you know, using our experiences to maybe help you along your journey. So before we get started, if you're following us on IG, um, quick announcements. We're now on iHeartRadio. We're now
Mm-hmm.
on Amazon Music. We're now
Mm-hmm.
on Audible.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you've been following us for a while, you may already know, you should already know that we're on Spotify and YouTube. So here we are at 5 places you can find us. Oh, six. 6 places. Six. Because TGC, shoot, I can't even get it out. TJCL Podcast.com is our website, and everything is there as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you have more options to listen because everybody has their favorite. And, hopefully one of these six are your favorite. So, enjoy. So, listen, y'all. We've been talking and y'all been talking. And
Mm-hmm.
we heard a little birdie tell us, quite a few little birdies tell us, we get into the nitty gritty. We came out the gate and, we was giving y'all the real early on because, we serious about helping others with sharing our journeys and talking about the things that we've learned. Listen, we're going to take a break. Well, we already started our break because, we dropped Mother's Day. We dropped our Mother's Day episode. And I don't know about you, Ty. I've been getting a lot of feedback on the Mother's Day episode. How's it been for you?
It's been awesome. People have been loving it. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we're mothers too, right? And we're grandmothers as well. But we're coming from a life experience and an understanding of our needs. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And how
Mm-hmm.
simple those needs are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been great feedback. I think what I've learned with this podcast and the episode is that people need to talk to each other more.
Yes.
People need to talk to each other more to understand. You don't have to assume, you ain't got to guess. Just ask. It's so simple. It's so simple. But we definitely appreciate everyone's feedback, enthusiasm and appreciation of us just trying to give you another perspective, right? To let you know hope is there. There is light at the end of that tunnel. And it's just a matter of someone listening to you and understanding where you're coming from. And so that's where we're here to try to help as much as we possibly can. So it's awesome. This journey is awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the same on my end because, you know, some of the things that we talk about, people have not really thought about it. They're like, oh,
Hmm.
wait a minute. Thought I dealt with that already. Let me reevaluate this.
Hmm.
Oh
Hmm.
my God, that's a great topic. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness, right? And
Hmm.
then, listen, we already went through it, y'all. We already went through it. So we know how heavy it can get sometimes, right? And you got to take
Hmm.
breaks. Even when you're living in the moment, you have to take breaks. So, with that being said, since the break officially started for Mother's Day, because baby, that was a break from the healing series. A break, y'all. We're going to still help y'all. We're going to continue to help y'all, okay?
Hmm.
Learn it. That'll never stop. However, we also have a focus on self-love because, baby, when I tell you, sometimes it took me a long time to realize what that even meant. Self-love? What? is that? That was strange to me because why is it needed? Y'all, look, I ain't going. I look. I can't promise I won't get deep, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be
Mm.
totally honest with you from my experience. That's what I've been promising y'all transparency, and baby, that's what I'm gonna give you. Okay, that's what it is. Do you want to start with the definition? Because y'all know that we love definitions. You want to start with the definition time?
I'm gonna let you start with a definition today.
No,
And I have a reason.
absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes. And before we start,
Yes, yes.
I just want to say that um kudos to you because
Me.
mhm, I have always seen nothing but love radiate from you in every freaking pore you own. And to have the doubt that it wasn't required for you to pour into yourself is beyond me from the outside looking in. But it's I know what I'm saying? I know the story. But
You
it's
do.
just that it's just that you just be amazed from looking from the outside, from someone's from their point of view, you would have never thunk it. Not talking to to you, just looking at you. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I'm looking forward to diving into this conversation more.
All right. So Google it, right? I Googled it and because okay, let me hold that thought. All right, put that on, put a pin in that. Google says that self-love is a state of deep appreciation for oneself that grows from actions supporting your physical, psychological, and spiritual well-being. It means having a high regard for your own happiness, accepting yourself unconditionally, and treating yourself with the same compassion you would offer a close friend. Mhm, 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 mhm. I pondered the same question that my dear sister has placed. Why did I not think that I deserved it? Okay, so I'll say this. Feeling like I did not receive it from the external taught me that I didn't need to give it from internal, which is crazy.
Hmm.
Um, but uh, trying to keep it light. But so being a child that came from um, a loving union,
Hmm.
as my sister has said, we're love children. Our parents were head over heels in love with each other. They were committed at some point, and
Hmm.
when we were conceived, we just come out bursting in these as these loving little humans. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, and I want to make eye contact with you guys, but I'm thinking as I'm speaking, so I can't stay still. My eyes just move all over the place. But anyway, um, I can give love. I have given love all my life. That's all I know.
Hmm.
And that's why when someone tells me that they love me and their actions don't match, what I feel like love is, if you love someone, for example, you won't intentionally try to hurt them or beat them down or break them down or control them. Love does not control. Love heals. Love hugs. It feels so good. And so there's a huge difference between telling the person that you love the truth and um and making them feel good, right? Because you can lie to someone because you don't want to hurt their feelings. That's not an act of love. That is a way for you to control the narrative in a sense because you're not to being honest with them, right? And they're going to continue. If you lie to them, say real easy, someone comes, your loved one comes to you and say, "Hey, girl, you like my new dress? By the way, my oldest son got this for me for Mother's Day. My moo moo. It looks like a butterfly, right? So I
It's
don't
so
care if you
pretty.
don't like it, but I love it, right?
Mhm.
But if I were to come to you and say, hey, I got this new dress and I wanted to know, or I'm at the store, we're at the store together, and I want you to tell me how you feel about the dress. Does it look good on me? Do you think, I look fine in it or whatever?
Mhm.
In that sense, I'm asking for your opinion, right? And everyone has one. It's up to me to decide whether or not I take the opinion. But if you, in your whole heart of hearts, know that that particular item is going to make me look not so great, tell me that. Not from a place of jealousy. Tell me that because I'm asking. When someone asks for your opinion, they actually want your opinion. When they don't
Mhm.
ask, you should keep it to yourself because
Mhm.
you haven't been asked. However, if you tell me, like you know me, right? And you tell me I look good and I don't, and then I go out and I have a bad experience because of this freaking outfit, how could you say you love me? And that's keeping it light, right?
Right.
That's keeping it light. Because we
Right.
taking a little break from the deep stuff, right? Just I mean, we're taking a little break from the heart wrenching stuff. This
Yeah.
is anyway. So if I ask, tell me the truth. That tells me that you love me. If I'm having a bad day and you see that I'm having a bad day and I come in the house and, you know, I may not want to talk, but you might feel off of me that I just need a hug. Give me a hug. We ain't got to talk about it, but give me a hug. And then sometimes I do need to talk. So let's sit down and have a conversation. Let's work through whatever we're working through. That's love, being there for someone when they need it. Even though I may come across as strong, yeah, I am strong, but do I gotta be strong 1,000% of the time? I don't want to
Mhm.
be. I want to be soft sometimes. So, excuse me. So, when you love someone, you're being honest and you're not attacking them when they're low. You're being honest with how you deliver the message, right? That's one aspect. Tell me the truth. Another aspect is the support. Hey, we just want to hang out. We're building our relationship. We're getting closer. And this is any relationship, y'all. It ain't got to be just romantic because you say relationship, everybody automatically goes to, oh, I can see. No, all the relationships, all the hats that you wear, mommy,
Right.
daddy, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, grandmother, grandfather,
Right.
godparent, friend, business partner, all the relationships, they
Mhm.
all require both parties to work at it to keep it good. Okay?
Mhm.
All the relationships. So, me, even for a stranger, when I meet them, I don't read you. I won't read you. However, I do pick up on energy. And if I feel like you need a hug, I'll ask first, would you like a
Mhm.
hug? I do hug my clients. when they get off that table, after I done felt all of whatever they have been holding on to, whether it's massage or Reiki, sometimes when they get a reading, they need a hug because it's a lot of processing. So I'll offer if I feel like they need the hug.
Mhm.
But if they tell
Mhm.
me no, I respect their space. They're no longer on the table, so I don't need to be touching them, right?
Right.
That whatever that time frame that they set for me, that's when my hands are on. Otherwise, respecting their space is a requirement, and I know that's a different for a different day, but that's coming from a place of love,
Mhm.
right? I love my clients. I love my family. I love, you know, just people in general, animals, all of them, including the little insects that I don't want to touch me. I still love them from a distance. From a distance. Don't touch me. I didn't ask, respect my space, and I respect yours.
Mhm.
Anyways, but that's, I just feel like, I just feel like for that to go over my head and be poured out into everybody else is that's crazy. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't understand. I don't understand why I went through that. Why it took me so long? I don't
Mhm.
understand why it took me so long. But here we are. Now, baby, you can't tell me nothing. Self love. Listen, hey, it is not selfish to put yourself first.
There you go.
When you need to care for yourself, your cup should always overflow. And you
Mhm.
cannot have an overflowing cup if you don't know how to love yourself. Another thing, if you don't know how to love yourself, it's a tricky situation to be able to pour love into others, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not going to say that I didn't love people. I loved them as much as I could love them at the place that I was at the time until I realized what self is.
Mhm.
Um, and baby, now if I need a break, Jesus, I ain't got
Mhm.
time for you. I ain't got the listen. And it looks different for everybody. Self love looks different from everybody. Some people just need a nap, and that's their self love. My wife and my sister, they love their naps. I call their naps sleep because their naps are not naps. My naps are like 20, 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. Their naps or sleeps, their sleeps are a couple of hours.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We are not the same. I take after
Mhm.
daddy in that aspect. Listen,
Mhm.
daddy can go to sleep for a couple hours and be fully restored, even at
Yep.
his beautiful age of 60 some years old. 60 some? Did he hit 70 yet? I don't know.
He has said.
He hits, oh yeah. So in his age of 70 something, because I don't keep them numbers, they just numbers. I don't, it's not important. But he up there, okay?
Mhm.
Just a couple hours is all he needs. Same for me. I just need a couple hours. I think I need a minimum of 2 or 3 hours and I'm good. Like really good, for example. And I know, neurodivergent. Bear with us. Anyways, Thursday morning, I woke up at 2:50. I didn't go to bed until after 10. I was fine all day. I didn't need a nap. I was woke. My wife said, "Baby, just stay up a couple more hours and you have a whole 24 hours." She liked to joke about how I don't sleep because she needs sleep. I'm good. I'm great. And I can still pour into folks. Um, but I also have other things that work in my favor, like management, full management of my time. So if I need a break, I just schedule a break. I don't ask for permission. And I don't think you should necessarily ask for permission even if you're not in full control. When when I feel like self-love, an aspect of self-love too, since the thought crossed my mind is just because you work at a corporation don't mean that you're asking for time off. Mm-mm. That's what society wants to teach you. You're not asking for permission. You are telling them, hey, I'm gonna be off. And depending on how important that is for you, will determine whether or not you begin to negotiate or
Mhm.
start to make other decisions. Listen,
Mhm.
we have to be mindful of that. And even as a business owner myself, correcting my thought process about it, I will, when I hire my first employee, be able to make sure that they are understanding this is how we operate. Okay. Yeah, we need to be present so that our clients can come in. However, I need you to be very aware as well.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
if you need the time off, we need to make sure you get the time off that you need. Okay.
Right.
So when you have someone that is willing to work with you, the workplace is much better to work in and I think more productive. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm
Mhm.
putting that bug in y'all's ears in case any other management is listening. Y'all need to love on your employees. I love
Absolutely.
y'all. Oh, the birds is coming, y'all. Mm, I must be saying something right. But yeah, love on your employees because if you want production to be good, you better start caring about their lives too. It's important.
Absolutely.
Take
Absolutely.
notes. One day my sister's
Mhm.
gonna be offering classes on that, so I just want y'all to be aware because I ain't met no supervisors anything like me until we started talking about how she supervised. I was like, see, I needed you back in the day, god doggone it. But hmm, accolades given. Y'all need to take notes. Get your pens and pencils out. We're gonna have to have a
Mhm.
conversation about that
Mhm.
for a
Mhm.
fee.
Absolutely. Mhm. For
Consulting.
Mhm.
Management 101. But getting back
Mhm.
to self love, yes. So I had to go through things to learn what that was. And when I began my healing journey, I kept hearing that. I was like, this is weird. But it wasn't long before I understood why it was required. It just wasn't
Mhm.
long. Um, and I had to start breaking some old habits. And that was the difficult part. That was the challenging part. Breaking those patterns, putting myself first, being okay with it. Um, having a high regard for my own happiness. Because if I'm not happy, those around
Hello.
me won't be happy either. I'm just,
Mhm.
because I got
Mhm.
big energy. And when I walk into a room, I change the dynamic of the room. Just by walking into it, I know that I struggle thick. So I have to be mindful of that as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, but yeah.
Is this my turn? Oh man. Um, I have I identified with the requirement of self-love at a very young age. Um, Once I recognized enough strife and pain in my life, right, at a very young age, I recognized why I needed to take care of my mental capacity first. Um, and because for me, self-love is a book, reading a book. Self-love as an adult looks like monthly massages. Self-love for me looks like quiet time with no distractions, right? Self-love for me is solo travel. Self-love, self-care, appreciating one's capabilities and taking a step back and saying, you did all right. Self-accolades, recognizing what you have given to others and how that makes you feel when they succeed. Um, And not only that, but with all the things that are happening, giving myself grace in the midst of the chaos. So I have it is a requirement for me, immediate requirement for me. Self-love looks like taking a 3-day weekend. Self-love for me looks like taking a personal day from work. Self-love for me looks like um, getting some fruit with seeds in and going to the Asian market by myself. Self-love looks like grabbing that shirt that I really want and matching it with them shoes. Self-love for me looks like jazz on a Sunday morning and a cup of coffee. Self-love for me looks like watering my plants and opening up the window shades and burning a candle and an incense, as you can see the smoke flow. That's self-love for me, you know. So I think the definition of self-love is your self-happiness because that's what you deserve. An outside influence cannot make you happy. It can add to it, but it should not be the catalyst for it. So, I think understanding what makes you happy is where you start with your self-care and your self-love and giving yourself grace in the process because we're human, living an experience, and those experiences will have your emotions all over the place. You still have to find your medium and your common ground and your balance amongst all of that. Self love for some may look like exercising. Self love for others may look like meditation. It all depends on what that looks like for you. What makes you happy? You know what I mean? I love to write. Self love looks like writing down my thoughts. Self love looks like creating poetry. Self love looks like going to the art museum by yourself. Get some ice cream, dark chocolate ice cream. Just want to put that out there. Um,
Hard. Frozen.
hard, frozen. You know, it it defines moments of happiness that you can have pleasure that identifies who you are at the center of it all, not the hat you wear, but who you are at the center of it all. So it's a requirement. We have enough when we step outside, most when we step outside of our house, hell, some in your house. You have to be able to find what's little happiness that you can continue to develop and grow internally that makes you smile for no reason other than the fact that you feel good and you've created that space for you. Even at your work, you can create a space. If you have an office or a cubicle, you can create your small happiness. Perfect example at my office, at work, at my little space, I have a plant. I have, I have Himalayan salt lamp. I have a pillow. I have a saying that I have been saying for years from Shakespeare about greatness. Um, I have cushions and a backrest, all these things to make me comfortable, that makes me happy. And then throughout the day, I have my classical music in my ear. That's my happiness. That's my self-care. That's my self-love amongst the chaos. So, I think that for a lot of people, not understanding what it is, number one, and then not realizing that you deserve it, number two, I think is one of the things that we need to make sure people understand. You got to have it in order to survive, in order to thrive, in order to thrive, not survive, thrive. You need to have self love. That cup got to overflow or you give it to others. If it is half empty, you can't give it to nobody else. You don't have the capacity. You don't
Right.
have the capacity to give it to anyone else until you're able to give it to yourself. I think people do need to learn how to sit by themselves.
Hmm.
I think that it starts there. It starts there. If you have yet to learn how to sit alone and by yourself and enjoy it, that's where you need to work on it. Right there. Okay. Right there. Unfortunately, it is not easy when you're used to chaos, right? So make sure you find out what that looks like for you. Silence. What does that look like for you? Um, how do you make it to the point of being joyful by yourself?
Hmm.
Because you got enough of things thrown at you. What does slice of heaven look like for you? What does that look like for you? And reveling in it and look forward to it and find peace in it, right? Find peace in that. So for us, we figured out what that looks like for us. And we make time for ourselves throughout the week, throughout the day, whether it's 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you can slice out for you. One of the things I do when I'm working from Monday through Friday is I actually schedule my lunch 60 minutes, 60 whole minutes, not 30, 60
Me too.
whole minutes. Okay. And, I make myself a priority because once I am overwhelmed and I'm at capacity, I can't show up. I can't function. I can't be the best version of me when I'm having to pour in and give into other people's. I can't do that. So I do that by slicing out 60 minutes every single day, Monday through Friday for me to just read, well, Audible, and eat.
Reading.
Audible and eat. And I literally slice that time out for me, whether I'm in the break room or I'm outside. But it is indeed time away from work. I think that we have to be mindful because we say this every podcast. We wear hats. We're still us.
Hmm.
We're still
Yes.
individual people, and we still have to make time for those individual people. We can't get lost in the hat. We have to be able to build on our own uh, slice of peace and continue to create and build on that to not get lost in something else. So I think this is a great topic of conversation to understand what self-love looks like and self-care looks like to every person. It may not always be the same. I can tell you right now something that I have yet to get to because something's always happening. But one of those self-care things for me is sitting by the ocean.
Mm.
And I'm trying to get there. Trying to get there. And that's my goal this summer to get to someone's ocean and just sit and stare off at the waves and listen to the crash and feel the water and the sand between my feet and my toes and my hands. And I'm just looking forward to that. But that right there, that's self-love for me.
I
That's
got you.
peace for me.
I got you. I got you.
You
And I'm
got
gonna tell
me?
you like I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell I got you. Listen, tell me what weekend you want to come up.
Okay.
I'll pick you up from the airport. Unless y'all want to drive
Okay.
up,
Okay.
I'm gonna take you to my spot.
Okay.
Yamoja, baby. I'm gonna take you to my
You've
spot.
mentioned that to me. You mentioned
Yamoja.
that to me.
Yamoja.
hmm
I got you.
I can't wait. But
And
that's
Ocean,
it.
baby. Yes.
And Ocean.
Oh, wait. Oh, y'all said she'll be there with the wind. Yes. Triple. Triple. I got you.
Yes, yes. But that
Mm.
definitely is the ultimate, the epitome of peace for me. You know what I mean? So I think that it is a requirement. And if you're not giving it to yourself, it is a detriment to your mental capacity. And I think that we forget that mental health is self-love. Mental health is self-love. So take the time that you need for yourself and take care of who you are.
Listen, I forgot to read the description because I knew these two were going to intertwine. The description of what self-care meant
Hmm.
and why it's important. And I should have shared that at the beginning, but that's okay. We can share it now. Self care encompasses any deliberate action you take to promote and maintain your physical, mental, and emotional health. It is not a luxury or a selfish act. So don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Come to
I love.
mind they did. But rather a vital practice that helps you manage stress, prevent burnout, and build the resilience needed to navigate daily life. And like my dear sister said, and I think I touched on a little bit, I was trying to keep them separate, but it's difficult to do so because they go hand in hand.
Hmm.
It looks different. In a physical sense, it can prioritize sleep, as I mentioned, they do very well.
Yes.
They sleep.
Hmm.
They like to sleep. They need to recharge sleeping.
Yes.
Staying active, eating balanced meals, practicing mindfulness, setting boundaries, healthy boundaries, journaling. We like to write.
Hmm.
And in a
Hmm.
spiritual sense, meditating, spending time in nature. Listen, y'all, I had to write some things down. This is how I focus. This is how I was able to survive, not survive. This is how I was able to stay coming from a place of love when I wasn't feeling like I was receiving it the way I needed it growing up. I used to write poetry. I can't find none
Same.
of my books. So if y'all find my books somewhere with my handwriting in it, please. I love it. I appreciate you in advance. I used to draw freehand. Like I would just look at
Same.
an image of something. Not an image. I'm sorry. I would see something and I would just hand draw it. Just draw it. Freelance.
Hmm.
Freehand.
Hmm. Hmm.
If y'all find my drawings, return music. I mentioned in previous shows that music was it is my thing. I thrive. Listen,
Hmm.
I could sit by myself. I have
Hmm.
gotten to the point where being by myself became a regular thing because it requires too much to be in a clique. I it just requires too much, and so I find myself getting overwhelmed when I'm in large groups of people. So I got to keep it small, compact, okay? And me and music, that's all I need. I love people, but me and music, I'm married to music, okay?
Hmm.
Alone time. I would do all those things in alone time. Man, I still can't remember the name of this catalog that I used to shop. I'm a shopper. Before I had access to the internet, because yes, I'm that old, there was catalog shopping. And I can literally see the catalog right in my vision right now. I cannot remember the name of it, but I used to catalog shop, baby. Me and going to a mall, in and out.
It wasn't Bloomingdale's, was it?
No, it wasn't Bloomingdale's. And it
Okay.
wasn't Fingerhut. Newport News. Newport
Newport
News.
News.
They would sit, listen, and BMG music and
Hmm.
cause man, I had CDs for days. And then I
Hmm.
downloaded them in my Google and then I threw the CDs away because I just didn't think that we would ever need them again. And we might be needing them again. And now I'm upset because I don't have the physical copies anymore. I just got rid of them after I moved so many times. But anyways, music, drawing, shopping, catalog shopping, which is why me and Amazon are so close. And writing poetry, baby, that was me pouring into myself, and I didn't realize. Because I was trying to think when I was telling y'all what self-love was, how did I survive? That's how I survived. I poured into myself
Mm-hmm.
in those ways. I stayed by myself. I
Mm-hmm.
did. I stayed by myself, but those are the ways that I poured into myself. Maybe couldn't nobody tell me nothing, and that was how why I was able to pour into others the way I was. And then the reason I want to touch on something else because Ty, you mentioned, um, dang it, I can't even quote you right now. I should have wrote that down too. But in some cases, our grandparents didn't, or maybe not our grandparents, but just looking at the lineage, like going back, they weren't taught that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were taught to take care of the family, period. However, that
Yeah.
looked like male and women, male and female. It doesn't matter. You were taught to take care of the family in one way or another.
Yeah.
Women are usually the nurturers. Males, they're the one, men are the ones that go out and they're supposed to bring the money, and that's what they were taught. That's what they did, right? Some of them. And that kind of just trickled down along, you just saw that's what you saw your parents, grandparents, great grandparents. That's what they did. That's what you learned, and we carry that on. However, now that going to therapy is a required part of healing now, at least at some point along your journey, you're learning that you don't have to repeat these same cycles, right? We have more access to different things that support us and practices that support us in building ourselves up, even if it's not in a sense of you having a bad, a challenging upbringing, just in a sense of, this is healthy. This is good for
Mm-hmm.
me, whatever that looks like for you, right? We learn that stuff, and that's where survival mode comes in, and then we can go deeper. We can go deeper. Um, but I'm gonna keep it light for today. So a part of that also is giving yourself grace. So what is giving yourself? To give yourself grace means to treat yourself with the same kindness, patience, and forgiveness you would offer a close friend. It is the practice of letting go of perfectionism. Yes, Lord. Accepting your human limitations, because everybody's is different, and moving forward without harsh self judgment when you make a mistake. Self talk.
That's right.
Everybody has a voice, whether it
Mm-hmm.
came from hearing it from another human while you were growing up, or witnessing different things, or just, having certain experiences that you chose to take a harsher standpoint on it, right? Because we have choice. We all have choice. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that negative self-talk can break you before anybody outside can.
Yep.
I cannot tell you how many times I have prevented myself from receiving a blessing, self-sabotage something just based off of doubting myself or feeling like, that's a stupid idea. There's a little bit of a difference, those two. That negative self-talk will be the detriment of you, not the outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of your care, correcting that.
That's right.
Because you have to, my sister told me, she said, oh, that voice, the one that doesn't support you, oh, guess what you can do? You can tell it to shut the fuck up. Because you can. You can.
Yeah.
Tell it. Shut up. You have no place here.
That's right.
None. I am the master of my life.
Yeah.
And what choices I make, they'll be good choices for me in that moment.
That's right.
And I am willing to go through the consequences of each one of the decisions that I make. It is a
Mm-hmm.
choice. Tell that voice that goes against you, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had to learn that too. I went through that too. I went through that too. But but yeah, so like that who giving yourself grace. When somebody told me, I think it was my godmother, I had a conversation with her and she told me, you can do whatever it was we were talking about. And I was like, what? Just all you got to do is just say it, put it out there in the universe will deliver it. And I said, what you talking about, Willis? Telling my age. But, I thought that was the weirdest thing. And then she was just like, um, one of my god siblings, I used to work for her. She even said to me, I called my wife weird, when we first met, and because, she was very kind to me and loving, and she didn't want nothing in return. She's just like, just let me love you. And I'm like, you're so weird. What is wrong with you? Right? And so my supervisor and god sibling, same person, but she had two hats with me. She said, well, you do the same thing. Aren't you weird too? And I said, shut up. Ain't nobody ask you. But when I went, so she laughed and went into her office, her treatment room. I laughed and I went to my treatment room. And I really thought about that. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm laughing, but she's right. I'm weird too.
Mhm. Mhm.
I do the same thing. Oh, well, I guess she's right. I deserve it too.
Mhm.
But give yourself grace. Like the same care and love and kindness and, that I pour into other people, I pour that into myself. Because why not?
Mhm.
Practice what you preach. Don't be a hypocrite.
There we go.
Because I snitch on myself when I'm talking to my clients and I tell them, go take your Epsom salt bath after this because you're going to feel it tomorrow. And then I go home and be feeling like I need to take a bath. And I look at the tub and I be like, I don't feel like waiting for the water. I don't feel like cleaning it out. I don't feel like, let's just take a shower and call it a day. But I need that bath.
Mhm.
And I tell my clients, hey, I know you ain't going to feel like doing these things because I don't be feeling like doing these things. But go take your bath. You take your bath tonight. I'm going to take my bath tonight. That's my accountability because I just said it out my mouth. And baby, I better have my ass in that bag
Mhm.
because my conscience eats at me. Girl, why you tell them that and you ain't even? But see, that's accountability. That's not negative self-talk. That's accountability. See, that's different.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, give yourself grace. When you're healing, when you're going through, um, moving through the process of healing different things, different experiences that you've had, you got to give yourself grace. Yeah, you're trying to break this habit. Maybe you wanna stop smoking, or maybe you wanna stop watching so much TV, or whatever the case may be, and then you find yourself, you sit back and you like, oh well, I watched TV 7 days this week, and then next week you watch TV 2 days out the week, and then you found something else to do that builds on your mindfulness, or you just started some good habits. Like for instance, I didn't restarted yoga. I'm in and out of my practice, y'all. In and out my practice. I like the way I feel after I do my yoga. Sometimes
Mhm.
just don't get done. But instead of me beating myself up about not doing it, I say, well, if I'm gonna make a priority and that's what I'm feeling in the morning, I'm gonna do it. But sometimes it's not what my body or my mind needs. It needs something else.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just walking through the house in silence. I come down in the morning, well, I take my shower first because I gotta wash the night off. And I'm not being nasty, so get y'all's minds out the gutter. I gotta wash the night off because I know that I've been dreaming. I've probably been sweating because I'm at that age sometimes. I be waking up and my body's perspired from sleep because
Menopause.
that internal sign of I'm like, okay, yeah, that. Um, and then I wake up and I have to take my shower. And in the shower, you know, I'm washing off the night's travels because I'm pretty sure that I ain't stayed spiritually. I ain't stayed in the bed. Sometimes I leave my body, but it is what it is. Because people be kind of they see me in their dreams, I might be doing stuff and I don't recall it, but whatever. Hey, if I can help you, we done did the work. I was meant to do it, so I gotta readjust to this side, right? Um, but I take my shower. I sometimes I have my music on, sometimes it's silent. I'm talking to myself or checking myself when I need to check myself. And then I come downstairs and I speak to my plants and I speak to my ancestor altar. Go to my altar because let me just say my altar. I speak to my altar and speak to all the other spirits that hang out here. And, we have a little conversation in the morning. And then I go out and look at my garden. I talk to them. I sing. My grandma used to sing a song to me. And I think my mother might have sung it a couple of times. But yeah, I more so remember my grandmother singing it. So I sing that song to my garden. That's thriving, by the way. My first official one. Anyways, so I got some, y'all, I got some spinach is ready to be picked.
Mhm.
Not spinach, kale. It's kale. It's
Kale.
kale.
Mhm.
And I took one off. Well, actually, I broke it by accident, but I took it off and I ate it, and she was so good. So I can't wait to eat more. I like to eat, y'all. I just love to eat. That's self care too. That's self care too. But yeah, so and then I just walk around my house, and I just greet. And I might I'll have prayer in the morning, set the tone for the day. That's care. And then some mornings I might get up and I might speak to the altar and I'll set it for the day or whatever, but I might not sit at it. I might just go through my day. I might say my prayer in my mind as I'm moving about the house, and that's okay because that works for me. Maybe I don't need to
Mhm.
sit at the altar that day. I stopped beating myself up because I used to like, oh man, I didn't pray this morning. Oh man, I didn't spend time with the altar this morning. Oh man, I'm gonna get in trouble because I didn't go and sit with Oshun today. Oshun is not sitting there at that altar waiting for me. She said, girl, this is what I need you to do. Go do it. Go do that so I can do my part. My ancestors, they're not sitting there talking about, girl, you gotta sit with me every day. That's not our agreement. That's not they said, hey, you promised to sit with us at least once a week. Just make it once a week if that's all you can do. Because guess what? I may not be sitting at the altar with him once a week, but I'm damn sure talking to him every day. Relationship, right?
Relationship.
Giving myself grace. It does not have to look like one specific thing that someone else has told you. It is
Mhm.
your relationship. Give yourself grace to move authentically in your own care for yourself. Yourself first. First,
Mhm.
not last. Never put yourself on the back burner.
That's right.
Ever. Anybody telling you you have to be on the back burner, tell them to shut up and get out your face and put up your wall and tell them they can't cross it.
That's right.
Because you never, ever put yourself last. Ever.
That's right.
That's love, self love. That's self care. That is giving
That's right.
yourself grace.
That's right.
You have to be very intentional. Like Ty said, she puts her lunch on her calendar because to help us as neurodivergent people, we have to have something to hold us accountable. We can see it. And if you see that you've got this block of time that you're supposed to be doing whatever it is that you want to do in that block of time, not work related, not taking care of somebody else related, but taking care of you, then guess what? We hold ourselves accountable during that time. I used to
Mhm.
work all day and not eat. My wife hated.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I used to get a
Mhm.
text from her every day. Did you eat? Did you eat? Did you eat? And then I would roll my eyes up and I'm like, you know what? She's absolutely right. Did I eat? No, I had coffee this morning. I've just been running.
Mhm.
I ain't got up and stretched my legs to get away from this laptop if it's an admin day. I ain't done this. I ain't done that. No snacks, nothing. I'm low on water. The hell am I doing?
Mhm.
When that little thing, that little notification pop, guess who going downstairs to make her lunch?
Mhm.
Because why not?
Mhm.
Why not? So I hope my earbuds don't die.
They work. They're fine.
I'm waiting for this
Okay.
one to come in.
Good
This one
night.
came in. Uh, but yeah, there's that. Give yourself grace. Self love is requirement is a requirement. Self care is a part of self love. It looks different for everyone, and a part of it is giving yourself grace first. Period.
Mhm. Mhm.
Would you like to
Mhm.
add anything
Mhm.
to that?
Mhm. And to take it a step further, self-love is a requirement to thrive. It's what pushes you over from survival mode to thriving. And just you have to remember that survival requires you to constantly be your head's on a swivel, right? You're constantly in fight or flight mode. When you are taking the opportunity to pour love into yourself, whether that's through um, you know, self-care, all the examples that we've shared with you today between what me and my sister do for ourselves, you are still taking care of your mental state. That's how you transition from survival mode to thriving. When you're truly living in your moment, in your purpose, and you are pouring the love that you pour into others into yourself
Mhm.
and understanding when to say no. Everything can't always be yes. You have to check in to see if you have the ability to give. Is your battery charged? Can you really give that level of attention to someone else at this very moment in your life? Have you had the rest required? Did you have sufficient amount of intake of water for yourself that day? You have to
Mhm.
do a body check-in, a mental check-in. So that's really what I wanted to make sure that the people understood. Self-care pushes you from survival to thrive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This might pop out, but it's okay. We're gonna keep moving with it. But listen. So we just want y'all to know that this is a part of your journey. It is a requirement. Um, love on yourself first. Learn what that is for you. Learn what care you need. Learn how to listen to yourself and you know figure out what feels good for you when you recharge, when you need rest, when you need restoration, because those are two different things. Um,
Mhm.
just be loving towards yourself the same way you are towards your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, auntie, uncle, kids, moms, and dads. Yes, your kids need you. However, in order for you to take care of them, you got to take care of you first. Because if you're not here to take care of them, who's you need them to be taught?
Mhm.
Stress is a silent killer, and it can come if you don't learn how to love on yourself. Because in that learning how to love on yourself, you're also building your discernment. So you know when to say no. So you know
That's
what
right.
kind of boundaries need to be put up so that you can
That's right.
continue protecting yourself without stressing yourself out. It's a
Mm-hmm.
requirement for thriving
Mm-hmm.
because survival is not it.
That's right.
Listen, I love y'all. If I loves you, this journey called life continues.
So let's talk about it.